All right, so what is this? Every human extinction costs things that have happened or can happen.
Dark forest hypothesis.
Can
The
happen.
dark forest hypothesis says that we haven't been in contact with other alien species because they've been hiding from each other, remaining silent to survive. If aliens are intelligent enough to have the technology to contact us, they likely also have the technology to destroy us, be it through genetically engineered viruses or through star laser weapons.
Engorgio.
Even if these alien species are benevolent, they could look at us just like we look at ants and try to harvest every resource from Earth without caring. Or they could look at us as a future potential threat, preferring to destroy us before we become a problem.
Rossman, thanks for the 37 months. Welcome back.
If AI reaches a point where it can self-reproduce and create smarter versions of itself at an uncontrollable and unpredictable rate, its growth cannot be reversed, creating a rapid increase or explosion of intelligence that far surpasses the human one, rendering
Just press the off button, forehead.
Humans obsolete and showing us what natural selection can do. It could lead to a battle for resources, with the machines wanting them for reproducing themselves and the humans wanting them for surviving, creating a war that has an obvious outcome. Even if the AI doesn't mean to harm us, its actions could still be dangerous. For example, if it's trying to solve a problem, it might change the environment in ways that make it hard for humans to survive, as they mathematically deem that solution to be worth more than our survival.
That paperclip AI or whatever.
Genetic engineering is a double-edged sword, enabling incredible medical progress, but also giving humans, who are not known for always having the best intentions, the knowledge to hack organisms. It's only a matter of time before the tools and knowledge to create an undetectable, incredibly contagious and deadly virus are accessible to everyone. Even if not on purpose, errors could be made either in the genetic modification of an animal or in its containment, making it possible for an animal with no natural predators and a fast reproduction rate to exist, causing irreversible damage to the ecosystem. This is arguably one of the most probable causes of extinction, in my opinion. Strangelets. Strangelets are a type of particle that is very different from the ones that make up everything we know, like atoms, and are created in the super-dense core of a neutron star. It's hypothesized that when these strange particles touch normal matter, they could start a chain reaction, turning everything they touch into more strangelets. The problem is that neutron stars could potentially spew out these strangelets after a collision, making it
I'm sure he's going to cover it. You guys ever heard of solar flares? That's apparently a pretty likely way we get like, if you're gonna look at plausible things to fuck us over in the near future, solar flares are way up there.
Possible for them to casually reach Earth, even though it's highly unlikely. Gamma ray burst. Gamma ray bursts are extremely powerful and bright flashes of very high energy light, being the second most
like a giga solar flare.
Energetic event in the universe after the Big Bang. They can be caused by things like exploding stars or merging neutron stars, and if one of these hits Earth, the ozone layer would be destroyed, leaving us vulnerable to UV rays and ending life on Earth. It's pretty unlikely though, as one of the focused beams has to be pointed towards us, and the gamma ray burst should happen within our galaxy. Technological stagnation. If humanity hits a point where the exponential technological progression we've had until now hits a roadblock, either caused by a lack of resources needed for advanced technologies or a physical impossibility to go further, we can be stopped from colonizing other galaxies, making our extinction caused by any other reason much more likely. Not only that, but we can have future problems with resources, as without improvements in agriculture and water management, we might not be able to feed everyone, leading to starvation and conflicts over resources. Without new medical technology, a new disease could spread uncontrollably and kill a large portion of the human population. And without new anti-climate change technologies, the world could become inhabitable. Vacuum decay. It's the
we're pretty good probably at adapting.
Hypothesis that the universe we live in might not be perfectly stable. Imagine that our universe is like a ball resting in a small dent on a hill. Everything is fine as long as the ball stays in the dent, but if it somehow gets pushed out of the dent, it could roll down the hill into a deeper, more stable dent. If that happens, a bubble of true vacuum, which is much more stable than ours, gets created and starts expanding at the speed of light, changing the rules of physics as it goes. Anything inside the bubble would be destroyed because the particles that make up matter and energy would no longer behave the same way. And the scary thing is that such a bubble could already be expanding, and we wouldn't know, since the bubble travels at the speed of light, and we can't see it coming. Gray goo. If a future engineer is able to create nanobots so small that you can't see them without a microscope, but designed to build more of themselves using every material around them, because of exponential growth, we would be swarmed by them, even if one of them got out, and we wouldn't notice until it's too late. They would pretty much be impossible to stop, using every material the Earth has to reproduce, creating a gray goo. Supervolcanoes. Supervolcano eruptions, although pretty rare,
That
could
Mount
happen
Doom?
within the next few centuries. Luckily, we can predict them in time, since scientists can detect the pressure building up.
Yeah,
When one
science.
erupts, not only will the local area be damaged by the massive explosions, lava flows that obliterate anything in their path, and an ash fall that can collapse buildings, suffocate living creatures, and contaminate water supplies, but there will also be global damages, mainly caused by the ash cloud that would block out the sun, causing
I don't remember that big-ass volcano in Iceland that covered like half of Europe in ash clouds.
a big drop in temperatures, called volcanic winter. Cosmic strings.
Eika, frækar, jöika, fryka, kull.
Cosmic strings are strange, super thin, and incredibly long objects that scientists think might exist in the universe. They are like cracks in space, left over from when the universe was very young.
That was 14
if
years
a
ago?
cosmic string passed through our solar system, it could cut through space like a knife because of its incredible energy, and it would create strong gravitational forces, which could disrupt the orbits of planets and moons. So we either get sliced in two, or we get sent to the void. Antibiotic crisis. Right now, antibiotics make it easy to get rid of infections and do routine medical procedures. But as time passes, bacteria are getting more and more resistant to all of them. If we use more antibiotics, bacteria have a higher chance of becoming stronger against them, which is one of the reasons why it's advised to not use antibiotics without being checked by a doctor.
Man, some people pop these things like they're candy, actually. I blame the Americans. I feel like they give them out like it is candy over there. It's pretty tricky to get your hands on antibiotics here in Sweden, I would say.
Another reason that this happens is because the agriculture industry heavily uses them to grow food. Some projections say that if we don't discover new treatments, we could see common infections become once again life-threatening, with around 10 million deaths annually. The bad news is that research is not incentivized because it's expensive and not that profitable, as new antibiotics are usually useful against a small number of bacteria, lowering sales numbers, and one-time treatments like vaccines need to be taken only once, also causing low sales numbers. Nuclear war. There are currently around 13,000 nuclear warheads.
This one feels pretty likely compared to a lot of the other ones.
And if every single one of them exploded, a percentage between 50 and 80% of the human population would either die immediately or in the long term. The surviving ones would find themselves in a very hostile environment, with the nuclear winter caused by a lowering of temperatures due to smoke being sent into the atmosphere and blocking out sunlight. This would cause catastrophic damage to agriculture and create food shortages. They'd also have to fight radiation that would cause severe health problems, including cancer and genetic mutations. The radiation could contaminate food and water supplies, further reducing the population over time. Climate change. Earth could become inhabitable if we hit certain tipping points. We are currently at 1.1 degrees Celsius of global warming. But if we hit 1.5, the Greenland ice sheet would start melting, which could raise sea levels by up to 7 meters over centuries, and the newly revealed ocean would start absorbing energy from the sun, further warming the region.
What if we just drink the ocean?
Also, the ground without the reflective ice and water around it would heat up faster, speeding up the melt by around 60%. At that same temperature, the permafrost would start a snowball effect, causing organic matter once trapped in ice to be free and start decomposing, releasing CO2.
What if we just build a big wall around Greenland? Contain it.
And methane, which is much more dangerous than CO2, by the way, heating it up even more, releasing more organic matter, and so on. Permafrost melting can also cause ancient viruses
like the Game of Thrones wall.
And bacteria that humans have never encountered before to be released, potentially leading to new diseases. Between 1.1 and 2 degrees Celsius, we can experience the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation.
It's like a really cursed unboxing. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're gonna check out what is lying hidden in the depths of the permafrost,
which would cause a giant flow of water that acts as a pathway for heat to travel from the southern hemisphere to the northern one, all the way to Greenland. A partial collapse would cause Europe to enter a mini ice age. Between 2 and 3 degrees Celsius, we have the disruption of monsoon systems, which can impact the lives of around 1 billion people and complicate global food supplies. At the same temperature, we can see the Amazon forest dieback, which is the point where the forest dries out, loses its ability to recover, and becomes savanna, which would cause the release of large amounts of CO2, further accelerating global warming and reduced rainfall in the region, causing problems in agriculture with potential food shortages. Massive asteroid. To cause human extinction, an asteroid would need to be around 10 kilometers in diameter, like the one that caused the extinction of dinosaurs. It's pretty difficult for this to happen, since scientists are monitoring every big asteroid in our vicinity. And thanks to
this is very likely. Besides, I watched Armageddon. We just cut it in twain.
Experiments like the DART mission, designed to test and demonstrate a method of asteroid deflection by intentionally crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid at high speed, we can hypothesize
Make a big net and catch it.
we might be able to avoid a complete catastrophe. Transhumanism. In modern times, biological evolution for humans has slowed down because we've created ways to adapt to our environment, using technology rather than relying on natural changes in our bodies. Technological advancement, however, continues at a rapid pace, matter of fact, at a much faster pace than biological evolution. This has led to the concept of transhumanism, where technology is used to enhance human abilities beyond...
It's like, eventually, there might be a shift where Paralympics and Paralympic athletes will be better than non-Paralympic athletes, right? Are we already there with some sports? I don't know. But like the runners, maybe? Surely it's only going to get more extreme. Though I guess in Paralympics generally you're not allowed to like use engines and shit. But that just means there's someone else is going to open up Gig-Olympics. I don't know what you call it. Cyberlympics, where that shit is encouraged. That'd be cool. I would watch that.
Beyond natural limits. We could edit our genes to adapt ourselves to other planets, thus making different human subspecies.
Paralympic 5K is faster than normal? Really?
The most extreme ideas in transhumanism is digital consciousness, which involves uploading human minds into computers or creating a hive mind where many people's thoughts and experiences are interconnected.
Jacob with a challenge. Rizzo gets a good read, but Joro off the ceiling. What a
Holy
save
shit.
from Jaden!
Yep, that's what it could be.
Functioning as a super intelligent single entity. At this point, we'd need incredibly different organisms to roam around the world and gather resources, putting humanity as we define it to an end, but keeping humans alive in another new form. Heat death. The universe might be heading towards heat death in trillions of years from now, which is a theoretical future where the universe has expanded so much that it becomes very cold and empty. Eventually, there will be no more energy differences, meaning no heat, light, or activity anywhere. Everything will be spread out evenly, at a very low temperature, leading to a dark, lifeless universe where nothing new can happen. So even if we survive all of the other threats, we will still die at the end, even though there's speculation that a new Big Bang might happen in the future, creating another universe. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join my Discord.
Wait,
Link in the description.
He never even covered solar flares? Oh, Kurzgesagt did 4 years ago.
Huge loops of magnetic energy arc out over the sunspots. Twisted and unstable, desperate to spew their energy, they create a magnetic bomb primed to explode.
They wouldn't make us extinct, they
so
would just break everything.
One magnetic field would stored energy.
Yeah, true. We probably wouldn't go extinct, but we could definitely set us back 100 years.
Use another magnetic field. Those two look at each other and say, hey, if we connect, we can get rid of a lot of energy. They do so. They reconnect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just imagine all the banks in the world crashing. All the data lost forever or whatever.
It's a huge explosion, and we call it a solar flare. And this can be equivalent to millions of nuclear weapons
they
exploding
record this?
simultaneously.
They put a tinfoil around the camera so it wouldn't melt.
Solar flares erupt outwards into space.
Actually, that would have baked it, wouldn't it?
At up to 4.5
They put
million miles
asbestos.
an hour, releasing massive amounts of energy.
Okay.
There's a best of internet daily notes. There's the new unusual memes. This thing looks insane.